Hey, what's up, YouTubers? Grant F here again with another great video review for you guys. And today is going to be kind of a completely random review. Might seem like out of the season or like, just completely out of order from like the films that I've been reviewing like since summer started. But I watched a documentary on Netflix called Never Sleep Again: The Elm Street Legacy. And it's a extensive like 4 hour documentary about just the entire Nightmare on Elm Street series, starting with Nightmare on Elm Street 1 all the way up until Freddy vs. Jason. And they interview like all the cast members, all the original cast members, all the directors. I mean, it was so extensive and thorough and really interesting, like to learn about all these different things and these production difficulties and these feuds that producers and directors had, and funny stories on the set. I mean, it was a really cool documentary. So I have the Nightmare on Elm Street films on DVD. I've got all 8 of them. I started watching all of them again, and I'm not going to talk about the Nightmare on Elm Street franchise. All of the films. I could go on for like 30 minutes to 3 hours talking about all the Nightmare on Elm Street films. But the one that I want to talk about today is obviously the original, the classic first Nightmare on Elm Street. Really funny story. When I was first introduced to Freddy Krueger, the character of Freddy Krueger, I was about 7, 8 years old, and me and my brothers would always ride our bikes up the store to this movie, video store called Movie Time Video. And they had a horror, VHS section, and we would always go and look at the boxes and flip them over and look at all these creepy images on the back of all these horror films. And I saw the cover for, I believe it was Wes Craven's New Nightmare. The film where Heather Langenkamp and Robert Englund play themselves, and Freddy comes out into the real world. In fact, I think I actually have the case on one of these. Picked up the case to this on VHS and looked at it, looked at the back, and that was my first introduction to Freddy Krueger. Never actually seen a film, just saw his image. Scared the shit out of me. In fact, that night, what's crazy is I went home and I had a nightmare of Freddy like that. Like, that's how much like just the image of Freddy's burnt face and his razor fingers, his gloves, his clawed glove. That's how much his image was burned into my memory forever, and I was terrified of any of the Nightmare on Elm Street films. Like, they came on TV or my friends had them, I'm like, no, I'm not watching them, no. So it took me years and years and years to finally, face my demon, face my tormentor, and actually sit down and watch the original Nightmare on Elm Street. I believe I was 15 when I saw the first one, and I was blown away. The first Nightmare on Elm Street is a horror masterpiece. Just the concept, like the original idea behind Freddy Krueger, behind Nightmare on Elm Street, came when Wes Craven was reading these articles about these kids in California that were scared to go to sleep. They said that something in their sleep was trying to kill them. And, they had like coffee makers hiding in the room with extension cords. They were taking like stay awake pills, caffeine pills and shit like that. And one of these kids actually died in his sleep, and doctors couldn't explain how he died. Like, they had no explanation. He woke up from a night terror and just like ceased to live. He just died. That is creepy as shit. I mean, how vulnerable are you when you're asleep? I mean, everybody has to sleep. You can't go more than a few days without sleep. It's just not good for you. You have to sleep where your mind goes. And the concept that Wes Craven came up with, that's just ingenious. The story for Nightmare on Elm Street, if you guys have not seen it, please go see it. Turn off this review and go watch the original Nightmare on Elm Street. It is so fucking good. The story for Nightmare on Elm Street is Freddy Krueger is this dirty, filthy child molester / murderer that has killed like upwards of like 20, 30 children. He gets caught by the police, he goes to trial, and he gets off on a technicality. Basically, a detective forgot to sign the search warrant, and Krueger was just free, just like that, after he killed 30 children. So a mob of angry parents track down Freddy Krueger to where he lives at this old abandoned shed inside this big factory, this boiler room factory. They douse it in gasoline, the entire shed, light up a match, and burn him alive. Like, take out, they just go fucking vendetta on his ass, just like vengeance, just for revenge, kill him. Well, For Freddy's, revenge, he comes back in the form of a demon in the parents' children's sleep and kills their children to get back at the parents for burning them alive. And that is fucking creepy as shit, dude. Not only is the story really cool, like it's almost like the sins of the parents are being passed down to the children because of what they did to this guy. I mean, obviously, like, you can almost side with the parents because he did kill all these children and he got away with it, and they just weren't going to have any of that. But at the same time, it's like, when you play with fire, you're going to get burned, and that ultimately ends up what happened to the parents. And Freddy Krueger comes back to haunt these kids in their dreams, in their sleep, and kills them. And if you die in the dream, you die in real life. The film stars Johnny Depp. It was actually his first film. Heather Langenkamp and John Saxon, and a couple other actors and actresses. I can't think of their names, I'm sorry. But Heather Langenkamp plays Nancy, who is basically the main character, the main girl. And Johnny Depp is Glenn, that's her boyfriend. And they're these high school students, and they start having dreams of this guy in a dirty old fedora and these, like, fingernails, these claws for fingernails, and a dirty sweater, red and green sweater. And they just start having nightmares about him. And then one of their friends dies, and, through circumstances, Nancy finds out that, her parents, her mom and her dad, were actually one of the parents, like, in the mob that killed Freddy, and now, like, he's coming after them. And Nancy's character is, like, so badass. She's so resourceful. She, like, rigs her house with booby traps to fend off Freddy, and, like, she is one of the most, like, badass, like, horror, heroines, like, in horror history. Like, she's so cool, really smart, like, really cute girl. She's actually from Tulsa, Oklahoma, which is pretty cool because that's where I'm at. So, Nightmare on Elm Street. Freddy Krueger, like, Robert Englund he is Freddy Krueger, and he is just so terrifying. Like, he, in the documentary, he talks about how he would move his hand like it was like a gun in a holster, and that's why he kind of walks with his stride. And he's a classically trained stage actor, and I am so glad that Wes Craven, like, picked Robert Englund to become Freddy Krueger, because I just can't picture anyone else playing him. The remake, Jackie Earle Haley tried, but he just could not hold a candle to Robert Englund. I mean, he is Freddy Krueger. He is the fucking man. The effects, the practical effects in Nightmare on Elm Street. The scene where he's coming through the wall, like, and they talked how they used, like, this spandex wall, and how his face and hands would come. I mean, that was such a fucking cool scene, dude, and it was all practical. There were no computer effects. Johnny Depp, when he gets eaten by his bed and, like, the blood shoots out, that was actually a giant rotating broom on a spindle. And I think they were on a budget of like $1.4 million or something like this, and just the effects that they pulled off in this film, it looks like a $20 million film. Some of the effects are kind of cheesy. Like, there's a scene where, like, Robert Englund as Freddy Krueger, like, walks through these jail bars, and it's like, it looks pretty fake. Like, it looks like it was, like, edited, like trick photography, trick camera photography or whatever. But when he's walking down the alley with, like, his arms stretched out and his gloves, like, sparking, like, on the side of the metal fence, like, that shit is so creepy. Like, there are so many, like, memorable, surreal moments. Like, these nightmare sequences were just done so perfectly, and you feel like you're dreaming when you're watching this film. The music, I mean, it's up there with, like, the Halloween theme, the Exorcist theme. Like, I mean, who doesn't know, like, the Freddy rhyme? The 1, 2, Freddy's coming for you. 3, 4, better lock your door. I mean, that and the dun 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 dun. I mean, that's just, the music is just perfectly fits the film, perfectly fits the atmosphere. The direction by Wes Craven, the camera angles, the editing. I mean, it's just, I can't praise this film enough. Like, I'm almost kind of mad at myself that because I was so scared of Freddy Krueger that I stayed away from the film for so long, that I didn't see it when I was like 10 or 12. Like, I would have loved it, but it's it's such a great film. I definitely urge you guys to watch the first Nightmare on Elm Street. I could talk about the rest of the franchise and the sequels for hours and hours, but I'm not going to do that. I just wanted to give praise to the original Nightmare on Elm Street, the first one. I love the film. That's my review, guys. Let me know what y'all think of the original Nightmare on Elm Street films. Definitely, if you are a fan, go watch on Netflix right now, Never Sleep Again. It's a really cool documentary, awesome, really insightful, features into the Nightmare on Elm Street film series. So, if you guys like what you see here, please like, comment, and subscribe to my channel, and I will be glad to bring you guys some more video reviews. You guys have a great weekend, and I will see you guys in a few. See ya.